He ultimately died at 18 years of age just because he was an old, worn-out cat. At this time, Pokey is 16 years old. He weighs 6 pounds. Pokey has lived indoors his entire life. He was seemingly normal and healthy until age 13 when he developed symptoms of progressive chronic renal disease. Gradual weight loss over 3 years, gradual decline in activity in the last 2 years. Owner was following all recommendations for managing his chronic renal disease. He actually eats pretty well. On physical exam, the owner presented him because of concern about his activity level, simply not getting up and moving around as much. Obviously, his BCS is low. He's showing, as we would expect, a significant reduction in muscle mass, slow gait, reluctant to step in and out of the carrier, not a step in and out of the carrier, but a step in and out of the carrier. He doesn't get up easily, you know Pokey. Reduced ROM in his rear legs, forelegs, and pain on RM at the ends. Here is Pokey's lab work. He officially is dead based on the lab work, but you know Pokey. Pokey hadn't gotten the memo, so Pokey is just continuing to live. In fact, we reached a point with Pokey in my practice where I had an honest conversation with the owner and said, I really don't feel a need to keep repeating the lab work because it says the same thing every time we measure it, and it says that Pokey is dead. Now, Pokey is on management for his chronic renal disease. The owners are giving sub-Q fluids at home. He's on famotidine, lactulose, azadil, on an appropriate diet. What else is going on with Pokey besides the chronic renal disease? Pokey is arthritic, and Pokey is arthritic everywhere. And part of my reason for including this case is that I learned a lesson with Pokey that we can get tunnel vision about chronic renal disease in cats and end up ignoring what's going on with their musculoskeletal disease. Pokey is arthritic everywhere. What tools in our toolbox have we talked about today that are appropriate to use for Pokey? And thank you.
So I would, I would put him on Serenia, not for the arthritis, but just because his body condition is low and he's not eating, obviously, all that well. I personally would put this cat on Adequan. I would look at doing an CC loop at home and possibly photobiomodulation if they're willing to bring him in regularly for that.
And in fact, photobiomodulation became an important concept with Pokey. They were very willing to bring him in initially 3 times a week. We continued to treat him long term with a gradual reduction in frequency. Over a period of, he lived another 2 years, and interestingly enough, Pokey gained weight when we instituted some therapeutics. Why did Pokey gain weight? Because he got up and went to the food bowl and more often. Dr. Huntingford, you have mentioned herbs. Are there some things that might be less than traditional for me as a general practitioner that you would think of to do for Pokey?
I do a lot of acupuncture with these cats who have kidney disease, and because I do it for their pain, for their osteoarthritis, and also for appetite. So that's something that I do. Herbals, I actually just finished doing a paper on a non-traditional liquid herbal supplement called Kidney Support Gold for these cats. And the cats' creatinines didn't change that much, but you know what? Their quality of life went through the roof. And they ate better, and they gained weight, and they felt better. So I think even for stage 4 kidney disease, there are some of these herbals that are very helpful and help these cats out. Nutraceuticals, certainly Adequan would be fine. If there was any other one that you could get the cat to take, if you could get it to take Antinol, if you could get it to take Flexin Advanced, any of those, I think that that would be very helpful. But I think probably one of the reasons that this cat was helped so much was because it could get up and go to the food bowl, but also when you were doing your photobiomodulation, I'm assuming you also did it over the kidneys. And remembering that feline kidney disease is inflammatory, it's going to help a lot with the anti-inflammatory. You know, we can't, I did say fish oil was sort of passé. It still works. It's only passé in that everybody's kind of done talking about it. 50 mg per kg is the cat dose for fish oil.
Dr. Owen, do you think a PMF bed at home would be appropriate for Pokey?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
I do. And so these kitty cats, one of the other things that I like to do with them too, so the CC Loop Lounge or the Loop Lounge, I like to put it in a sunny spot because we know our cats are going to be more comfortable. They're more attracted with these chronic diseases that are cold. So I like to have them be more attracted to the device. The other thing I like to implement is box therapy for the physical therapy exercises at home for kitties. So we all know the rule, if it fits, it sits. And so we like to put different size box lids in the sunshine, places up on the bed so we can get that mattress effect or that proprioception effect from the mattress. And then we'll put our food in one box and we'll put our water in another. And we just make these little, Amazon box little menagerie activity centers for these older cats. And I was really surprised, the first cat that I had that actually would transition, gained weight, put on muscle mass, completely comfortable. So it kind of was that mind-breaking reality of, oh my gosh, these guys still want to move. But the sunshine was the key on that.
That's a good
That's
suggestion.
really cool.
Thanks.
Very, very helpful
Thank
tidbit.
you.